Oh yes, legends, how is everybody doing? We are live. Make sure to absolutely destroy that like button. Let's go right away with the technical analysis. Bitcoin is pumping right now, coming into a little bit of resistance, but for the moment, there's no sign of weakness. Let me go through the comment section, say hello to that beautiful community. Of course, as always, guys, let's see that like button getting absolutely smashed here, guys. Let's smash it up right away and do the technical analysis here for Bitcoin. I'm going to explain as we get in this movement here to the upside, which is followed by massive bullish CVD divergence. People have been wanting to short the price of Bitcoin throughout the last 24 hours, continuing here to try and push the price down. And we've been seeing some lower lows on the CVD divergence, okay, and higher lows on the price action, especially here throughout the last few hours, right? And also locally right now, we're just getting lots of lower lows here on Bybit. Not sure if you guys can see this, but overall, we are forming some bullish CVD divergence. So this uptrend is gaining a little bit of strength because there's people trying to short here, also here to try and push the price to lower levels. But the price is getting a little bit of a rally right now, and we are hitting a little bit of resistance. We are getting up to the anchored VWAP from all-time high, okay? This is the volume weighted average price from all-time high that we did have just 2 days ago. By the way, let me know if you can hear me, guys, and you can see me, right? I'm going to go through the comment section right away. Now, we are also heading here up to the 50% Fibonacci retracement from all-time high to the lows here created early this morning. So it is a little bit of resistance. It's not massive resistance, but it's a level where the price could struggle ever so slightly in the short term to get a bit of a pullback, okay? So overall, there is a little bit of tiny resistance here. I wouldn't say that this is massive resistance. We are building up a bullish CVD divergence, which we do not want to see eventually. Now, we've just taken out the local highs. We've been creating some lower lows on the CVD, which means that the local highs are very likely to be claimed. It does look like that we are going to be building more bullish CVD divergence. I don't know what's going on here, but lots of people on Bybit are willing to short this zone, right? It is resistance. Don't get me wrong, it is a level where you could get rejected. However, there's too many shorts entering here at the highs that could be building up here more local bullish CVD divergence. Look at this. Players on Bybit are looking at the anchored VWAP and the 50% Fibonacci from the movement down, and they are speculating for that movement down, okay? I think it's an acceptable quick short that should have been taken here at the highs. We actually front run that anchored VWAP and the 50%. It would have been nice to hit that level and form a little bit of a fake out, then to enter stop loss, right? Get the movement down, start being defensive. We front run the level. Overall, this was an acceptable zone, but we did not hit it, right? We did not hit that anchored VWAP. Looking here, if we do have some more levels of resistance, right, to add at this zone. And we do have the point of control of this range of the last few days. This is something that I was looking at today, okay? So we do have a point of control here. From this, you could arguably discuss it is a range. It is a bit of a range, but the price, lots of people wanting to short, creating that liquidity to the upside because there is liquidity building up. My goodness, to 105, 106, right? We do have that liquidity building up here. There's over $1 billion just at $106 to $107,000. So could we manage to get that push to the upside? It is local resistance. You could arguably discuss that this is a little bit of range, right? Because we did have that volatility throughout the last 2 days, right? Inauguration yesterday, we got a dump and then a pump and then a dump back down. I got stopped out at break even from my long trade. Did manage to scratch some profits though, and I missed out on the short. I have to go through the analysis that was talked about yesterday, guys, because I believed with the technicals that we could have had a push up, right? The technicals were looking awesome. I did scratch some profit, just realizing that we were hitting some resistance. I did take most of the profits actually from that long, as you saw on yesterday's live stream, but this was such a great level to enter a long position right over here, okay? This was a really, really nice technical level. You had the resistance support flip, 50% Fibonacci from this pump, just speculating on a wave 4. You got a bit of a zigzag move here, more in a WXY, explained on yesterday's stream. And I was really speculating that we could have got that leg to the upside, but we found resistance at the point of control of this mini range that we formed throughout yesterday, right? We got, hitting that point of control here and just got very choppy, no steam, and we finally rolled. I have to say, I missed taking that short position. I did not enter the short, got stopped out at break even from that long position on the movement down. We got a pretty aggressive move down with volume and just getting more volatility here to the downside. So overall, missed shorting the price of Bitcoin throughout yesterday because, I was really looking at the high chance that we could have formed a double 1-2 right there, a third wave, a bit of a zigzag. We had the long entry where we expected the price to get a bounce. We did get that bounce of almost $2,000. However, the price found resistance. The price was getting choppy. Time to be defensive, time to take some more profits. I was suggesting here in the Legends trading community, right? Time to take some profits from that long position. Anybody that was getting into the long position, it was time to scratch some profits as we are hitting some resistance right over there and the price rolled over. I kind of missed that short position, right? It was getting choppy. Now, the speculation here for a short, looking at the bearish case, would have been an invalidation, right? If you wanted to attempt this short position, right, if this is not going to be a corrective move and you're going to get continuation to the downside, well, what you could speculate here is in a double 1-2, 1-2, and then have continuation to the downside. So if you were going to get into a short position here in this range, which was with the anchored VWAP, right, basically the VWAP from yesterday from all-time high, was also providing that resistance, as you can see. So you would have to have your stop loss at this high right there, attempt to short and attempt the lows for the take profit, right? Just accept that loss, that if you take that high, this no longer will be looking too impulsive unless you are, you would say it wouldn't look impulsive. It would, the only bearish case scenario would have been that double 1-2 or an expanding move, right? An expanding 5 wave and then a larger bounce. We did get a little bit of a bounce here after forming 5 waves. Regardless, you could not take out this high, right? If you are downtrending, right, which you're kind of holding that lower high resistance, let's go back to the basics, right? You're basically hitting the lower high resistance trend line. Hitting the lower high resistance trend line, if you break out, you don't want to be in any short positions, right? Just in case the price breaks out to all-time high. So an acceptable stop loss would have been right over here if you would have entered that short position, right, in this zone, just invalidating the bearish case, which would have been a double 1-2 or an expanding move, right, which kind of is what happened here. So I missed out on that short position, longed here, took most of the profits here, got stopped out here at the rest of the position and missed out on the short entry. Anybody that got into a short, absolutely phenomenal, right? You need to manage risk, and the best stop loss would have been just above this high, realizing that that would be an invalidation for the bearish case to get the continuation down, right? Just a simple breakout of the last lower high and the resistance trend line, right? Just keep it that way. A stop loss there would have been an acceptable zone to put it in and start taking some profits at the lows as you test it, right? So let's talk about the levels and the different scenarios here. We are hitting that anchored VWAP, kind of slightly front running it, right? What more resistance do we have? We do have the 50% Fibonacci retracement. We need to try and understand and map the global situation here for Bitcoin, right? What the heck is happening? Is this the end of a correction? Have we formed a massive 1-2 right there? And this is another 1-2, right? Coming all the way down to the 0.88 Fibonacci, which is rare, guys. Some speculators might say that this is a diamond pattern, right? We are in the formation of a diamond pattern. This is a massive reversal pattern, and we're going to break down it is possible. It is possible. We need to come to the conclusion on this live stream what we can map and what are the best levels to get into a trading setup, regardless if it's a short or a long. This is why you are here, guys. We map the scenario. We get trading plans ready, of course, backing it up with technical analysis and confluence levels, so we can say, why are we shorting here? Why are we longing here? Well, we have this confluence, right? We have this invalidation level for our stop loss, right? We are creating a plan, and that's what we do every single day, guys. And just for that, smash up the like button. We can take a look at some altcoins, the total crypto market cap, Bitcoin and altcoins, Bitcoin dominance, to try and speculate what is coming next for the next coming weeks, even next few months, guys, because I do think that the next leg up for altcoins will be happening, and I know it doesn't look too great, guys. Some altcoins are doing fantastic, right? XRP, Chainlink's doing pretty good. Solana just hit all-time high the last couple of days. So some altcoins are actually in the bull run, but a lot of the altcoins are lagging behind, and I have a bag of those altcoins, guys, that are not doing anything. So we're going to try and come to the conclusion, do we have a chance here for the next coming months? Because this should be the strongest few months, right, before the summer, where we actually get those rally. We have Donald Trump as president, pro-crypto. I got some very interesting news that I do want to talk about throughout today as well later on, okay? Because, yeah, it's the first president, right, that is pro-crypto. And matter of fact, we do have the new House of Representatives and Senate will have more pro-crypto seats than ever before, which is the first time in the history, right, of the US. I mean, crypto's pretty young, right? We haven't seen, Bitcoin's only about, 16 years old or so, right? Not even that. And new cryptos, 10 years, 5 years. So eventually this had to happen, and it's happening now. It's happening now. So could this be the perfect storm for a massive altcoin season in the coming months, right? Bitcoin to go to higher levels, or is it a sell the news event, guys? We are entering a recession. Stop dreaming, right? Because US is crumbling, and it will make the rest of the world crumble as well, right? Well, we've seen many speculators on recession, and this cannot happen, and rest and the other, right? Let's stay real, guys. The data is there, and we are in a bull run. Matter of fact, Bitcoin hit all-time high yesterday. So, yes, is this the end? Well, for the moment, the trend is still very much healthy, guys, and this would be extremely rare to finish an all-time high in a double top right there. So we are expecting a new all-time high to come in the coming weeks, if not days, guys, if not days, because this cannot be a finished structure. There is a very simple reason based on the waves, based on the movement up here to the upside, just as we were confident on this movement down, guys, that we're going to see another all-time high based on the technicals. Yes, we are in a bull run, so it's pretty much easy to just say, yeah, Bitcoin will go up. Bitcoin goes up forever, right? With pullbacks and bear markets, it will go up forever, right? They say. So overall, we were very much confident of this move being corrective, right? This was not looking impulsive at all. Also, this movement to the downside, we were speculating on a WXY, right? Or an ABC for anybody that is, just wants to make it simple. It's a three-wave structure. We will not break down successfully beneath $90,000. And if we were to go down to $85,000, we're expecting a move up. So overall, we tested the lows. We came back up to all-time highs just last week, right? Throughout this pump. So we're going to be talking about locally, guys. We're not interested in the higher time frame. Higher time frame suggests more upside, okay? It does suggest that we are going to see more upside. All right? Keeping it simple and easy. Higher time frame, we are expecting more upside. Now we need to come to the conclusion of what the heck is going to happen here. What the heck is going to happen here? We need to map the different scenarios and levels so we are ready, guys. So we are ready for the best trading setups. Now, with early this morning, we had a relatively good, nice bounce. I managed to get into a position here very early as I was waking up. And this was a back test of a daily level, and it was a fresh daily level, guys. Okay, so we did manage to break down beneath this daily level. I'll explain right away with the technical analysis how we are looking for these kind of trading setups, because you are here for the education as well, right? Just so you know, oh, I remember Andy talking about this scenario where he got into a trade. Let's try and look for it for today or tomorrow, right? It's all about education on the channel here. If we can find some setups, we will, right? We will do so as also. But you're here to say, Andy talked about this yesterday and it actually looked pretty nice, right? And it played out pretty nicely. He also talked about this last week. Let's see if we can find, you know, some similar confluence or movements on the waves and a similar trade setup, right? So this long position, it's relatively simple to explain. Okay, let me just quickly go through the new daily level based on yesterday's close, right? Which was a horrible wick, right? A horrible rejection wick on the daily right there yesterday, right? Forming a kind of a, you know, I don't know what this is called on the candlesticks, but it was a big rejection, leaving a massive wick. And we left that daily level here, okay? We had a daily close from Sunday and open of yesterday, leaving us that daily level. Now, very early this morning, that daily level was actually, you know, hit, right? We did actually hit that level and we formed a swing failure pattern. Now, this was at 2 o'clock in the morning. I did not manage to jump into this double bottom, right? This was at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was not awake, but, you know, higher time frame double bottoms, right? They are very much acceptable. You could have had an attempt right there to jump into a long, but the moment I woke up and I realized, because I have my technical analysis in my head, guys, you know, I know exactly from the phone what levels I'm looking at because I do analysis every single day for a few hours. So waking up on the situation, we had a quick retracement down to back test that daily level. That daily level after this double bottom was getting a back test. But most importantly, we were creating massive bullish CVD divergence legends, okay? When we do take a look at the CVD, whether that is on XO, CoinGlass, or AGGR.trade, which is free, by the way, we can see how we were forming on this backtest of the daily some incredible bullish CVD divergence throughout all of the exchanges. In the yellow, we have Bybit. In the blue, we have OKX, Binance, and the rest of it, other larger exchanges. People wanting to short the rollover here, rollover to break down, which was not the case. This was being absorbed by limit long positions, okay? And there was more buying power, and your target zone is taking out the high. Now, the thing about long in here, this back test, is your stop loss. It can be a little bit tricky. You know, if you put your stop loss at the low, you know, risk to reward is not that great, right? It's a 1.5 risk to reward. So you need to play around here, manage risk very, very well. Arguably, you could put your stop loss ever so slightly beneath the daily level, okay? Just give it a bit of room, because if you break down, you know, you have the risk of coming to lower levels, okay? And just basically stopped out in a larger loss. So this is why these pullback entries are a little bit tricky, okay, to manage risk. The best ones are a swing failure pattern, right? You test the lows, you recover, you enter a long position, your stop loss, you get the movement, bang, you take some profits, you be defensive with your stop loss, right? Swing failure patterns, liquidity grabs, right, from major levels are the easiest trades to manage risk, right? It's just very simple, very effective. They are the best ones, right, to manage risk. But when you want to get into a pullback, those are the ones that are tricky, where you want to see a three waver, you want to see some very strong bullish CVD divergence, higher lows on the price action, lower lows on CVD, right? Seeing people actually shorting, you got a target of the highs. So, you know, sometimes for your stop loss can be quite tricky if you don't have massive support. In this case, it was the back test of the daily, you know, saying, okay, this daily could actually hold as support, which it did. So managed to squeeze a little long position right there and managed to make some profits on that back test of the daily level. Anybody that is interested in trading, guys, of course, and is, you know, has problems with some exchanges, Weeks is a great alternative to Bybit and many other big ones, guys. Weeks has the greatest bonus down below in the description. Okay, you just need an email and a password, $20,000 deposit bonus, 50% fee reduction. All right, very important. They got a competition right now, which if you're good at trading, you have a chance in winning a car. There's a $150,000 prize pool. Check out the link down below, guys, because only with my link you get 50% fee discount. Okay, you just get some tokens and you will have massive fee discount. Okay, for all of those scalpers, we need those fees coming down. Okay, check out Weeks. Great alternatives. Have been trading on Weeks quite a lot lately. So let's focus on the higher time frame scenarios, guys. This is what we need a map right now, which is you need to love technical analysis. All right, a lot of people that don't enjoy it, then they will leave, right? They'll be like, oh my goodness, this is a massive headache, right? You need to really like it and try and map the different scenarios. I've been loving technical analysis for over 7 years now, okay? And absolutely, you know, it's my passion, right? And this is what I want to share on YouTube, right? So now let's just try and map what the heck was this price action to the upside, right? Because you could arguably discuss it looks more impulsive than corrective, right? It looks pretty impulsive. Just this latest move from last Monday to the highs here created on Sunday, that was a confirmed high. There's kind of a lot of waves here, right? It's a bit confusing, right? It's a bit confusing because you got a lot of peaks. You can micro count the waves, but overall, just to keep it simple, it does look like a one wave, right? All of this looks like a one wave up, right? And then we have this big fat mess that we had in between, you know, Sunday and Monday, right? With inauguration, all-time high, back down, right? A bit of volatility. So you need to start thinking of flat scenarios here, right? A bit of a flat scenario. You claim the high, claim the low, right? You need to start thinking this is a big fat mess. Is this corrective? Was this the end of the wave right there? Was this the flat over here? And now this is just bullish. We got a wave 1, wave 2, retracing too much, I have to say, because it did come down to the 0.88, which is rare. It is a rare target for a wave 2. Wave 2 most commonly goes to the 50%, right to the 7-8 zone, and then bang, we get the third wave. Coming this low for a higher low is very rare and decreases the probability for a wave 2. So we just need to be a little bit cautious on the scenario here that we're just going to absolutely moon here in a wave 3, right? This is a 1, 2, and 3, which is a very much a possibility. It's a possibility, right? It's just if we do not take out this low, we could not count this possibility, right? If we took out this low, then we're not going to say this is a 1 and a 2, right? Because we took out the low. So we need to start thinking, hey, this could be the end of a move. This could have been an end of a move where you do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I mean, not very beautiful. Now, this cannot be a correct count, my bad, because the wave 3 is the shortest wave. Okay, so this is not a correct count. This would be a correct count where you do have one over here, because yeah, you have 5 waves. I mean, this has got me crazy, guys. This movement has really got me a little bit crazy because you can micro count this, and you do have a proper count, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right over here that could complete an expanding wave 1. And 𝗕𝗏 was talking about this as well in today's morning update in the Legends trading community. So you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there, and then this being the corrective move. So you have 1, 2, 3, right, which is not the shortest, 4 and 5 because you did take out the highs here. So you got this being official 3 peaks in a possible 5-wave move with an expanding wave 1, which is rare, but you know, it's a very much a valid count. Now is when you come to that conclusion of, hey, okay, this is one scenario, right? We're going to talk about many scenarios, guys, and then come to the most important levels, right? This is just mapping the higher time frame. It doesn't matter. We look for day trade scenarios, okay? Either shorts or longs, and we're going to talk about them right away. But this is trying to map here a little bit of the wave analysis, right? What could happen here in the next coming days? So if this were to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, when in an expanding wave 1, your wave 3 is not the shortest, the wave 4 did not overlap the wave 1, all of the rules, right? According to Elliott Wave, it's a valid count. Could this be a big, massive running flat, right? We did not take out the lows. There is a chance of this to be a running flat. Running flat meaning that you have not got the C wave to claim the start of the A wave, right? Usually in a flat, an expanding flat being the most common, you want to claim the A wave and get a pretty decent dip down, right? And then maybe pump. That would have been the ideal. I would have speculated in a long position here from the lows if we would have gone down there based on this setup. Sweep up the lows here, actually coming to backtest the point of control of the entire range, right? As well since November, right? That was a very, very acceptable long position if we would have got this movement down. You know, this could have been a nice swing failure pattern. You got the possible counts right there, volatile move up and down, classic sweep up the highs, sweep up the lows, and then we're ready to go, right? It's just something that happens, very, very classic. Claim liquidity up, claim liquidity down, ABC flat, ready to continue the uptrend, right? But we did not claim the lows. We did not claim the lows, and we just came all the way up here. So a running flat is the possibility here, right? It is a possibility. If this were to be a running flat, then the retracement from the pivot low of last Monday to the pivot high, right, of Sunday, you only hit the 382 Fibonacci. That's where we did get the bounce. Very, very nice with the value area high, right? This was a long position that we mentioned in the Legends trading community. You had value area high, 382. You had so much confluence right there. There was a daily level as well. We've got a beautiful bounce. So, you know, if this were to be a wave 2 in a flat, it is a little bit shallow. The timing is shallow as well, right? You did not cross the 382 Fibonacci time from pivot low to the pivot high. Very shallow in timing. Yeah, it decreases probability for this, right? And then we just absolutely shoot up from here, right? With a wave 1, wave 2, 3, 4, 5. We head up to above $110,000. And this was the movement, right? Either in a 3 wave or in a C wave, right? What if this is an A wave, this is a B wave, and this is a C wave? Is it possible? Well, that's when we zoom out and say, you know, is this leg up going to be incredible in a wave 3? Or is it going to be a bit of a, you know, very, very shallow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Are we going to move up like this in the next couple of days? Not getting too extensive, very clear 5 wavy. You know, I want to start seeing that wave 1 being very strong and the wave 3 absolutely ripping, right? If this were to be a 1, 2, 3, right? And then we're just exploding out. All-time high, here we come. But if you form a shallow wave 1, a shallow wave 3, creating a little bit of a double top right there, and then a wave 5, then we have to come to the conclusion that, hey guys, you know, this is not looking incredibly strong. If we can predict here where the price can top out, you know, hey, what if this is an ABC move, right? What if this is an ABC move? Is it possible to form an ABC move here? That's when we zoom out and take a look at the local structure, right? Is it possible? Because we do have a correction here, right? We do have a 3-wave move. And the most common thinking here is, hey, dude, this was the correction. This is going to absolutely rip right now. We are in bull market. We're going to go to much higher levels, right? This will be a wave 3. So it's possible. But now is when you look at the bearish case, right? This would be great. There is a bullish case. You're just going to form a wave 3 from here, and you're just going to absolutely rip in the coming days. But you need to think about what is the other scenario, well, right? We zoom out and say, is there any other scenario here that could happen? Well, a flat could happen, right? Because you have a 3-wave here. And if you have a 3-wave here, you can possibly top out at $110,000, $115,000. It is possible. Right, it is possible. If you form a 5-waver here, you got a 3-wave here in this scenario, everybody extremely bullish, and then boom, 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 right? Bang, bang, in a 5-wave move down to sweep up below 90K. That would be horrendous, right? A lot of people would say, that's it, this is the top, right? Has to be the top, right? So that would, you know, this would still be bullish. This would still be very bullish for the next coming weeks. Right? Even though it would be a devastating pullback of $20,000. but it's very much possible. It's possible, right? According to the technical analysis based on this 3-wave move down. It could be a 3-wave move up, and then we move here to the downside. So something that's in the back of my mind, that if we do form a 5-waver here, very choppy and not too impulsive, I will start considering this scenario. When will I consider this scenario? If we do move up here like this, right? If we move up like this in the next coming days, forming a 5-wave move up, right? Maybe choppy, right? You're going to get lots of micro counts, very confusing like this zone over here. But if we start moving like this, very choppy, hitting all-time high, I will start thinking of this being a 3-wave ABC move. That's when I will start thinking about the possibility of coming back down to 90K. Only if we move up like this. So that is just a little bit of speculation, right? It's possible, but we need the data. We need the price action coming up in that 5-wave move, right? Very, very toppy, very, you know, the third impulse is just coming here to all-time high. We'll consider that. We will consider that, okay? So that is one scenario, guys, to have in the book, right? That could happen. The most extreme bullish case scenario, is considering all of this as a wave 1. All of this as a wave 1. All of this as a wave 1, which is a little bit tricky to count. All of this as a wave 1, which is a little bit tricky to count. Unless you see this as a wave 1, wave 3, 4, 5. And this is the correction. This would be a very, very small wave 1 right there. But the most extreme bullish case is that this has been a flat in your wave 2. Right? All of this has been an impulse. And the clearest correction is this being a flat. That is if you're counting this as a wave 1. And this has been your flat in your wave 2. If that were to be the case, and this is your first initial wave 1 to the upside, you are going to be building the wave 3 here, right? Which is very, very much possible, but you would have to be very explosive with your wave 1 and your wave 3 in the next couple of days, right? This would just absolutely rip, and we would have to come to that conclusion that this was wave 1, 2, and then this was just your initial wave 1 and 2, and then you're just building up the third, 3, 4, 5, and we just extremely bullish, guys. We're going to 120K. If the price starts getting punchy, then that is one scenario, but we just really need the volume to go up in between today and tomorrow, and the price just ripping if this were to be a first 1, 2. If we start dancing around here, no bueno, not good news. Then we're going to start thinking other scenarios, right? Other scenarios that could play out. So if we start ranging, right, there's some other possibilities here. There's some other possibilities. If we're going to start ranging, say that we get a pump, then we get a big massive dump. If we are going to be continuing ranging here throughout the next couple of days, then we have to come to a different conclusion, right? We have to come to a different conclusion where we've had this movement right there. We've had this ended up in a 3-wave move, guys, right? We were speculating on a wave 4 yesterday. I was anyway, and looking for new highs, which did not happen. Okay, so overall, was expecting a possibility of a 5-waver here, and it did not happen. We finished in a 3-waver. So that gets me thinking of, okay, if this was a 3-waver, right over here in a flat, we could be forming a complex WXY, which is, if this is a wave 1 and this is your wave 2 scenario, you're just getting a big fat mess here, which is very, very confusing, right? But as mentioned, if we did form a flat structure here, all right, in your W, you did form a zigzag here in your wave X right there. Now you're possibly forming your Y, and now this is where it gets extremely, extremely difficult. where this could be a zigzag right now, claiming the lows, right? And you get your Y down here after a zigzag. I mean, it's very much possible. If we were to come down here in the next 24 to 48 hours, I'm interested in longing, guys. I'm very much interested in longing, just because this movement down doesn't look terribly impulsive, especially after this structure right over here. It does not make sense to finish a wave right over here with this movement up in a 3-waver. The fact that we've moved up yesterday to hit all-time high with the highest amount of volume in a 3-wave move makes me think, regarding the technicals, that this was not the high and the price will not break down successfully in the next coming days. Because of this move, I realize that this was very likely not the high, and we're going to head up to the high again. So any movement down beneath the local lows, I have built up a structure and different scenarios that could play in my advantage in a very good trading plan. So, like mentioned, if this right over here, this big fat mess, guys, that can be a big confusion for anybody that does not have experience, you have to come to the conclusion with the pump from last week, and this movement, boom, boom, you got a bit of a flat there, you got a 3-waver here. So what would be one scenario in this WXY, right, which is very, very complex? W right there, X. What if we do get down in a zigzag? We get resistance here at the VWAP, right? And, you know, the 618 Fibonacci, very classy zone of resistance. And we roll down here in a 3-wave move. I will be very interested. We got a flat, we got a zigzag, and we do have a possibility of another zigzag here. Which are the levels that I would be interested in taking a long position if we were to break down right now? This will be a moment where people will be in doubt. People will be saying, holy moly, we're moving down. That's it. Let's go to 90K, right? This is the moment to be ready with a plan, right? This is a moment that I'm going to be ready with a plan, guys. I'll be ready. I'm set the alerts and be ready to execute that trade on the phone if needed, if I'm not in front of the charts, because I have the plan ready. So if this were to be the case, let's just speculate. This is higher time frame, guys. This could end up in a swing trade setup, right? Because it could take a few days to come back up to all-time high. Then we'll focus on the scalping day trade scenarios, but let's zoom out here on the higher time frame and get those plans ready. Remember, this would be a sweep of the lows. This would be a moment that people will be in doubt. This will be a moment that people will see breakdown, that we're going to go down to the lows at 90K. If we were to hit $99,000, $98,000, people will start, being in doubt of a possible large breakdown. We need to get ready some levels that we are interested in, some levels that we would be interested in here based on this WXY very complex correction, and then continue to the upside. So what are the levels, right? What are the levels? What are the levels that I would be paying attention of highest confluence? Well, first of all, we do have the point of control of this entire range, right? Let me just fix this. There's a big high volume node. Big high volume node right there. Round about the 97,500, 400. Big high volume node, which is the point of control from the price action of the last 3 months. Big level, the highest volume node right there from the last 3 months. If we were to break down here, just considering this, this scenario, if we were to form a zigzag, we don't know where the high could be the moment you start breaking. The moment you start rolling down aggressively, then you have the high on the extension, right? most common zone, right, would be the 1-to-1, depending on where that high is. If we were to form a high here, once you start rolling down, you need to get that high, right? Once you start forming this price action, you got a confirmed high. So that's where you will get your extension zone, right? Wherever that is. So the 1-to-1, right, that would be aggressive. Sweeping up this higher low right there. This is round about $97,000. 1-to-1 extension. You got the point of control. You're sweeping up this higher time frame, higher low. This was from last Thursday. Beautiful level for an SFP. Let's take a look at Fibonacci from the pivot low. Do we have any fib levels there as confluence? We do have the golden pocket. We do have the most famous Fibonacci zone right there, from the lows to the highs. Golden pocket, the most respected Fibonacci zone, right? That is exactly where we have the point of control of the entire range since November. And it will be also sweeping up this low. So this is a very good swing failure pattern level. This is the guideline that I would be looking at for the price to recover from. And I'm interested in getting a long position here on the reaction if we were to come down there. So it's a plan. This is a plan. We might be in a wave 1, 2, 3. And we're going to rip now in the next couple of days. But it's a plan, right? Just mapping the correction and the waves and what makes more sense here. So if the price were to come down between today and tomorrow pretty aggressively, topping out here at this range where we are getting a bit of resistance, we can see it on the price action. That anchored VWAP from all-time high is, you know, the resistance zone, which is the 50% Fibonacci from this local drop of the last 24 hours. If we were to roll down, I will be ready here because I know there's a very good confluence area. Very interested. Golden pocket from high, from low to high. Point of control, big fat volume node. You have a higher low to be swept. Classic liquidity grab. Boom, bang, right? You're hitting almost a 1-to-1 extension of this wave. And you can map a WXY scenario. Big level, I am ready. It's a trading plan if we were to roll down. I am not shorting at the lows. I would be ready for the bounce, and this is going to be my guidance. How can I execute this trade? Remain patient, sit down, have a beer, and wait for that level as you're breaking down here to be hit, and check the reaction based on the price action getting back above that level. That's it. Boom, you got a stop loss. This could turn into a very, very profitable swing long position back to all-time highs. Of course, this would take a few days eventually with some waves and some volatility, right, before you actually get up there. But it's the zone. It's the zone based on this analysis, based on the confluence that there is. So it's a very much a possibility. Okay. This is one scenario out of this complex correction, right? What would be the other scenario, right, based on a WXY? Because this is a big fat mess, right? Could it be a diamond pattern, guys? Could it be a diamond pattern, right? And we're going to break down. Let's not talk about that because it's just not a real good trading pattern. But, you know, you could be kind of forming a diamond pattern, I have to say, which is a top pattern, right? Diamond top in this case, coming from an uptrend. But it's not. Anybody that's not aware of a diamond pattern, I have it here somewhere on my patterns folder. Anybody that's not aware, diamond top pattern, it would be a very, 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 very choppy one. You have to have the highest amount of volume in the center, right? All of this. Could it be the case? It's not the most beautiful one. I mean, you would have to link it from this high. It's not a pattern that I trade, guys. It's just something that you could realize that, you know, could be happening. You know, could it be a toppy scenario? You know, you usually, you know, diamond pattern, you need to have the highest volume candle, the biggest wick in the middle. We could be a little bit skeptical on this scenario. could take it a little bit into consideration, but it's not really a tradable pattern. There's no strategy behind the pattern. For me anyway, if you want to speculate on a lower high here, you know, or the breakout of the higher low support, you know, for the diamond pattern, it would be the breakout of higher low support that could end up in a fake out. It's just a dangerous pattern to trade, I have to say. I do not have any back test or strategy behind that, and you see them once every few weeks, right? It's not a major pattern that happens every day. So other scenarios here, legends, and I'll go through the comment section, but we need to focus, guys. We like to keep the first 30-40 minutes of the stream mapping different possibilities, right? We look for the confluence. We add Fibonacci, we add waves, we have extensions, we have daily levels, we have complex Elliott wave theory. We map different scenarios to see if we can, it does align, the planets align for the possible trading plan, right? So that's one scenario that was mentioned, right? The zigzag here in that WXY, claim the lows, looking for this for a long position. On a WXY, Ys can be very complex. They can, especially if you form a flat here in your W. So Ys, there's three scenarios on a Y. You probably can get a zigzag, you can get a triangle, right? And then you move to the upside, you break out. If you were to be forming a triangle here, you have a high, you have another higher low, right? If you form two peaks here and two peaks here, we can start speculating on a triangle. You need at least 4 peaks inside, so basically 2 lower highs and 2 higher lows to start thinking about a triangle, right? So this is like really not a scenario at the moment, unless you form a lower high, whether that is here or slightly higher, and you form another higher low and you get a bounce. Then we can start thinking, okay, maybe you're forming an A, B, C, D, E here. If we form this kind of structure, guys, this will be incredibly bullish, even though it will look like a diamond pattern, right? So we will be realizing what setups we do have here available if we were to form this kind of structure in the next 24-48 hours, right? To really speculate more in a long position than a short, right? You might think this would be a diamond top, right? Which could be as well. It could be, I'm not saying it's not, but it would be looking very diamondy, right? But I've seen diamond patterns break to the upside, especially in a bull run, right? Which we are kind of in, right? So, and the most complex scenario would be forming a flat, which, really would not make too much sense, right? This would be an absolutely craziness of price action. Sweep up the highs again, all-time highs, come back down to the lows, and you're forming a flat in your Y here, which would be absolutely crazy price action, right? Dumping, pumping, dumping, pumping, dump, and then back up. But the counts are very much valid. The counts are very much valid. So I would be very skeptical in shorting here, because I am aware of the bullish case. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You're basically bullish. The correction has finished as well here in ABC, right? And this is your first wave 1, wave 2, boop, boop, boop. You'll start ripping here in a wave 3. I would be skeptical on a double top here locally, but we could be looking at, depending on how we hit the level, and if we do reject, and if we already form 5 waves up there, then we could, or more of a zigzag, more of a zigzag up there, which would not be the case. You could form a 5 here, a 3 wave here, and then another 5 wave move up here. Then you would consider an A, B, C flat, right, in that Y. But right, it's just something that we could possibly speculate on, depending on how we get up there, right? It really depends on how we move up there. If we get up with a very zigzaggy move, right, in a 5-3-5 move, then we could really speculate on that ABC flat. But for the moment, that is not the case. So we just need that structure to be built. Now let's focus on the lower time frames, right? What is the different scenarios on the lower time frames? And then it's time to go Wyckoff distribution. Who knows? I would not touch it. What do you mean? Wyckoff bear market blues. Wyckoff distribution. There's only one situation with a Wyckoff distribution, guys, and that can be explained here with a Bybit chart or the Coinbase. I would go with Coinbase just because it's the #1 US exchange based on a Wyckoff distribution. And there is a problem. There is a problem with a Wyckoff distribution, guys. I'm going to explain in detail why this is not, or why it's unlikely. We cannot say it's not when we're talking about trading, guys. It's all about probabilities. So when we talk about Wyckoff distribution, right, which is this right over here, in this case, we would start thinking about, you know, either this one or this one, very possibly, right, where we've formed already the highs and we're going to correct. Right now, we formed a double top and then we're going to slowly consolidate, not reaching the highs again, and then dump down, right? You get a lot of choppiness when you form all-time highs, which is kind of the case. You know, this is we've been chopping around here since November at the $100,000 range, right? Just some movements of $10,000 up and down. So we are very rangy since November, not going to lie. So do we consider Wyckoff distribution? Well, first of all, in a Wyckoff distribution, I'm going to explain why this is unlikely to be a Wyckoff distribution and higher is more likely, okay? And it's just a simple rule. Wyckoff is not only patterns, it is volume, guys. Anybody that has studied Wyckoff, okay, it is mainly based on volume. Most important patterns in Wyckoff, okay, is backed up by volume, and we need to understand the volume on these patterns, right? This one right over here, we got this one happening in 2021. We actually did form a Wyckoff distribution in 2021. Anybody that wants to learn a little bit of Wyckoff, right? Okay, this was what happened, right? We did have a Wyckoff distribution pattern right over here back in 2021. Right, this right over here, you formed the 3 peaks up thrust, right? Getting the choppiness every time you hit all-time high, and then you had the major collapse throughout May before the summer, right? So you get the 3 peaks, chop right there, right? Just as you can see on this pattern, and then you had the major collapse down. This was pretty obvious Wyckoff distribution. This was exactly where I sold 25% of my entire crypto portfolio except for Chainlink after the breakdown of this structure. This is actually on a video, on a live stream, or in some video updates as well, making people explain that I'm out. I've taken significant profits here, realizing that this could happen. So the problem is here to understand the Wyckoff distribution, like mentioned, most importantly is volume. Volume was telling us here that there was more red volume. There was more red volume to the downside. I mean, you can't see it too much right now. If you do, you know, if you do zoom in, the pumps were not backed up with high volume. You had higher volume on the movements down. The movements down, right, had higher volume. Look at this movement here to the upside. Oh my goodness, very, very poor volume right there. And the movements down were backed up with high volume. And this is Coinbase, one of the largest, right, crypto exchanges out there. So that's what you want to see in a Wyckoff distribution. You want to see, as you're moving to the upside, creating slightly higher highs, you want to see, if you do see the movements down with higher volume than the movements up, you realizing that big players are exiting the market. People here are exiting. You have higher volume on the movements down than movements up. giving you the high probability that this will not end up well. It very much ended up in a Wyckoff distribution, right? So this is why, because of this analysis that I shared here with you based on 2021 price action, when we do zoom in throughout the price action here, this is a completely different story. This is a completely different story. You have you had this volatile move in the middle right there, which is a doji candle with high, on the daily it's a red candle, but overall it's a volatile move in the middle. But you have green volume pumping up to the highs, and especially this one right over here with the inauguration, right? Yesterday, just hitting the highs with green volume. So this, for me, invalidates the possibility of a Wyckoff distribution. Okay, for the moment, this could be a larger pattern, and we do hit the highs, and then we get larger volume on the movement down, selling pressure, and we start consolidating a little bit longer. We might get another high right there with very low volume, and then we decrease here. We get a major pullback with high volume. Then I would consider, guys, big players are getting out of the market based on the volume, and we could be forming a Wyckoff distribution. But for the moment, this is too early to say, and the volume is not in hand with the selling pressure. Okay, so that's why higher is likely, based on Wyckoff anyway. So let's go right away. If you like that little presentation on Wyckoff distribution, trying to understand, because Wyckoff is mainly volume, understanding accumulation and distribution. If you have the same on accumulation, it's the same story on accumulation. You need to see the high volume spikes when the price is coming from a bear market on the pumps, right? You will get high volume spikes after coming here to the downside, and low volume on the movements down. It's the same pattern but inverted. Low volume on the movement down, big volume on the movement up, and this ends up with eventually a breakout being an accumulation. So you want to see high volume on those small little moves up on a range to understand that you are in an accumulation, right? Which was basically most of the cryptos that we bought throughout October and November, right? Guys, this is a reaccumulation, right? We've seen those volume spikes to the upside. We're ranging. We're coming from a downtrend, right? And we're forming a big fat range. Well, that's how we speculate the good buying levels, right? Based on a bottom formation and a reaccumulation, right? Based on Wyckoff. So it's the same scenario, okay? Andy, why have you kept Chainlink till date? Is there anything you're not telling us? Well, we can see that, well, this just came out to, throughout the last 24 hours to commemorate the inauguration of Donald Trump as the 47th president of the United States. WLFI is proud to announce the following strategic purchases today. I mean, this is from Donald Trump. $47 million on Ethereum, $47 million wrap Bitcoin, 4.7 on Aave, 4.7 on Link. Link is the strongest oracle out there, and I do see that Chainlink will do very well in the future, right? It's not even this cycle, it's just in the future. So it's, for me, it's kind of holding a stock. I have Bitcoin more as a stock for the long term. So it's not about the X's anymore on Chainlink, right? This Chainlink is like the I'm married to that cryptocurrency, you would arguably say. Don't marry your investments, guys. Well, Chainlink is more like a marriage. It's more like an investment. It's a stock. It's a long-term investment. Been holding Chainlink now for over 6 years. 6 years it's going to be right now with since I entered in Chainlink 2009. Yeah, no, just over 5 years. Since 2019, my first purchases. So it's just a long-term investment. I do see that crypto hitting all-time high and going to $100 because the tokenomics are good, and it's very much needed for blockchain technology, getting real world data, right, into blockchain very securely and safely and in a decentralized way. So it's just the technology is amazing, and it's just a higher time frame investment for the long term, nothing else, right? It's just I will consider selling some Chainlink maybe at $30-40 if we do reach there in the coming weeks. Okay, I was saying throughout the last few years I'm not selling till we hit $100, this, that, the other, but I have some significant Chainlink and I want to kind of diversify, and you know, I've accumulated a lot throughout the last 2 years, and I want to diversify a little bit. So if we do hit $30-40, it will be a significant gains, and I'm just ready to sell a bit. You know, I will be selling 20-30% maybe, but we'll obviously have a bag, because I do understand that it could reach all-time high and maybe even go to $100. Maybe not this cycle, maybe next cycle. So it's just a good investment for me. Anyway, Pith is better than Chainlink. I do hold some Pith, but not as much. Maybe Pith is better, but overall, you know, Chainlink is still number one. Will Pith overtake Chainlink? It might. It's in second place at the moment, still very much low market cap than Chainlink. Could it? It definitely has a space here. All right, it has, you know, all oracles have some space here, and yeah, Pith could do very, very well. I am bullish on many oracles, Band Protocol, Fowler Network. I think it could do. Is it better or not? Then maybe yes, maybe no. For the moment, Chainlink is more advanced than Pith, but if it's your favorite, then yeah, I mean, it does have its place here in crypto. Protect capital, says Hopium. Absolutely, protect capital. Always be defensive. Let's take a look at some. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of lower time frame. Bitcoin wants to move up here. It is scaling up. There is a situation here that this uptrend, okay, there is a situation in getting into a short position here at the VWAP and at the 50% Fibonacci, right? Let me just double check here with the session volume profile. We are leaving the station based on the price action yesterday. There's really not that much resistance here apart from the VWAP and the 50%. But there is a scenario here. There is a situation on this choppiness and this resistance that we're forming here. Why is this not looking too great to get into a short position? Well, a part that we are actually moving up right now is the bullish CVD divergence that we have been consistently forming on Bybit here, right? There is lots of shorts trying to enter the market here, and an uptrend followed by bullish CVD divergence, mean lower lows, people wanting to short the uptrend. It means that the highs are going to be taken. If you come down here, you continue forming a lower low, it's just a strong uptrend. So this is why, looking at this data, you realize that, you know, it's still moving up pretty strongly. We've just hit the anchored VWAP right now, so this is going to be looking a bit interesting, because now the bullish CVD divergence target has been hit. Yeah, it could be a speculative quick short scalp here. Quick short scalp down to the lows. Very, yeah, still kind of holding the VWAP. Not really. I mean, if you attempt this short position, the stop loss is above the highs. If you enter right there as we've wicked up, I wouldn't go too crazy with stop loss. And, you know, I would even maybe not even target the lows. So this is the situation. If it does end up rejecting and getting a breakdown from this local uptrend, then you just have to decrease your capital, right? Keep it a small position. Because if you do break down, then you got you know, the profits are relatively good. You don't need to go too heavy here. But, you know, this could end up correcting much more. So you don't need to go too heavy to make a 4-5 to 1 risk reward. So, you know, it is a level of resistance. I would just go in with a baby position, because we have been building up bullish CVD divergence here very strongly. Matter of fact, we are going to, yeah, we're just forming new bullish CVD divergence from the pivot low of today. So lots of shorts entering the market. Lots of shorts entering the market. We got some new lower lows right there from this pivot, right, which is just building up. So you got that possible high to be claimed again. That's the thing. We've only just formed, yeah, these new bullish CVD divergence here. Let's talk about the other major levels, right, on Bitcoin. I mean, this is an attempt. It is an attempt for the price to get a corrective move. It is a possible attempt. You're hitting the anchored VWAP from all-time high. You did actually hit the anchored VWAP just a couple of days ago from this pivot low, right? When you do get anchored VWAP from the lows here of the 13th of January, that's where we got the epic bounce. I mean, there was a lot of confluence here. Value area high of the range, daily level, anchored VWAP from this low of last week, right, from last Monday. So now we are hitting the anchored VWAP from all-time high, this anchored VWAP. So it could get squeezed, but I wouldn't go too crazy just on the big bullish CVD divergence that we're forming. You know, there's lots of people shorting the market here, which is creating that liquidity to the upside. Yeah, matter of fact, it does look like we want to take out the highs again. Yeah, it's a strong bullish trend, this. Even though it looks choppy, as we do continue forming bullish CVDs, you know, it's just not a strong uptrend is followed by lower lows on the CVD. So not yeah, we're just breaking out at the moment, trying to break out. I'm just trying to look if there's more, if there is any more confluence here. Not just, oh yeah, we do have the point of control of this range. We're trying to break out from it. Oh, we've kind of broken out above that point of control. Kind of the value area high. This could be, yeah, I mean, it is resistance. But as we are above the anchored VWAP and the 50%, it is trying to push up. It is trying to push up. Let's take a look here at the extension on this wave. Yeah, we are currently above the anchored VWAP. I mean, it is a possible rejection point. It is a possible rejection point. What is a very good level here is attempting to break the value area high of this range, because we have the 1.618 extension from this low, higher low, 1.618 extension at $106,000 is where we have the golden pocket from all-time high to the lows of today. That is a very interesting level. That is a very, very interesting confluence zone if the price manages to squeeze out here. I mean, this is a local resistance. Anybody that is attempting a short here, I mean, stop loss above the high, I wouldn't go too crazy. This could end up in a nice rejection. But even a better one is the 1.618 extension from this wave, which is where with the golden pocket from all-time high to the low, and it's kind of attempting to break the value area high. It's attempting to, it's a back test from this high as well, right? This consolidation that we had right over here on Sunday is, it could be a back test zone. We did get resistance here. There is a consolidation. So yeah, there is, you know, this is a very, very interesting level as well, right over here. The $106,000 is without a doubt a possible rejection zone based on the confluence, on the measurement of the wave, 1.618, golden pocket from the low to the high. You have the back test of this consolidation from last Sunday. Very interesting level. Very, very interesting level. So, yeah, that would be the next resistance. I mean, if you are attempting this short position, you know, stop loss is above the high. You know, it does look like we want to break down here. It does look like we want to break down. So, I mean, this would have been your best entry right there with stop loss at the highs as you're creating this SFP. But I would be defensive. Let's take a look at the CVDs because, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no longs interesting. There's no people long in here on Bybit. It's just a big pile of shorts entering the market right now. Lots of shorts entering here on Bybit at the moment, which is creating those bullish CVDs. But if you had the attempt of the short, you kind of just putting stop loss at the highs and being defensive. This could end up in a breakdown. This could end up in a breakdown and you get a larger correction. I would just be really defensive with stop loss. Purely based on the bullish CVDs, right? Because we are moving up with strong bullish CVD divergence. So if you did attempt the short on the VWAP, just be defensive. Just be defensive. Accept small little losses. It's all about little losses and bigger wins, right? So, but it is a rejection point with no doubt. Let's go right away through the comment section. Best long position. Well, best long position is we want to be paying close attention on the rejection, right? Because if we were, this is very three wavy, and this is a very much an acceptable short because this is very three wavy. Depending on the breakdown, we just have to remain a little bit patient on the movement down. Yeah, you got the breakdown right now from the anchored VWAP. So the thing is here is this correction. So on this first move down, it's too early to get into obviously look for a long. Yeah, we would have to see how the price moves down. You would want to see a nice chilled three-wave move to the downside. Yeah, it actually looks very correct. If we start getting high volume now to the downside and continuing the breakdown, then eventually getting lots of shorts entering right now the market. Yeah, there is new bullish CVDs forming. There's not a quick long entry here, I have to say. I mean, this was the best short speculative scenario based on the anchored VWAP and 50% Fibonacci, kind of a local triple double top right there. Stop loss at the highs. Yeah, if we start moving down, I mean, anybody that got into this short, like I said, if you got into this short position, if it, you know, when we start seeing proof of support is where you want to get profits, but this could easily break down to the lows. It could easily break down to the lows because this is very three wavy. You're going to start overlapping. This no longer looks like a wave 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, for this to be a 4 and a 5, well, you'll have to start looking at, you know, expanding moves in this case. If you were to bounce at this zone, not looking too great. Let's take a look at Fibonacci from this pivot low to the pivot high. Yeah, for this to be a wave 4 and this would be a decent TP1 if you entered the short. The main reason why is if you do not overlap this pivot, which you're not for the moment, there is a chance for the bulls here to hold the 382 Fibonacci, right? Not even 50%, because if you hit 50%, you're invalidating an impulse here. And this does not look extremely strong as an impulse, I have to say. So if you entered the short, defensive, and I would leave most of the position open, just realizing that we could break down here, guys. Back down to the lows. So any longs that have been taken here from lower, it's time to take more profits. Time to take more profits if you're longed here, because there is a chance that we move down aggressively to the lows here. Anyway, let's go. No, we're not going lower, says Crypto Creek. Possibly not. Possibly not. There's not an easy long position here based on the structure, because this is a very one wave move. All right, we either want 5 waves or we want 3 waves. This is a very one wavy move. There's just no aggressive long entry here for me. We need to find a little bit of a zigzag move to even speculate on a long, but this structure will not be looking too great unless this is a 1-2, 1-2, right? You find some support. You do have very strong bullish CVD divergence from here, which is already on the formation, right? I mean, there is already big bullish CVDs happening with this movement. So, but for a long position, I need a little bit of a 3-wave move. I need a little bit of a whoop, little bounce, little move down, and then on the golden pocket, 7-8 Fibonacci with bullish CVDs. If we form a bit of a zigzag move, then I would possibly speculate on a possible long position based on bullish CVDs. But this structure does not look great, I have to say. If you formed it, yeah, we're just hitting this pivot high right now. So you're invalidating a strong uptrend impulse. It's already being invalidated with this touch. This is very 3-wavy. You're moving down pretty aggressively with volume. Anybody that got into the short here, legends, I would hold on tight, because this could come down to $100,000. And unless, the only good long position would be remaining patient and forming a 3-wave move down. You got the bullish CVDs. The only massive bullish case scenario would be either speculating on a 1-2, 1-2, and then 3, or an expanding move. And that's only if we form a 3-waver and we get some support here at the golden pocket from the pivot low to the pivot high, right? Golden pocket, 7-8 max. Preferably round about the golden pocket. But we need a bit of a 3-wave move here, because right now it's very falling knifey. It's just one wave. Yeah, there's no quick longs here to be entered, in my opinion, right? Based on my strategies and reading of the market. So if you got into a short here, I would leave some open. I would leave some open, because there is a possibility. Stop loss at break even. There is a possibility of the price coming down to the lows. Anyway, anybody that is interested, this could be a little resistance support flip. But yeah, anyway, Trump pumping. Is the Trump coin pumping, guys? Let me know right away. Let's take a look at Trump, a coin right away. I want to know how many likes we do have. Be defensive on that short. You got a free trade if you entered that rejection on the anchored VWAP. I had to keep it a little bit small based on the bullish CVDs. We are still forming massive bullish CVDs here. So be defensive if entered that short. Anybody that is not signed up to one of these exchanges, Weeks eventually being for me the #1 alternative that there is out there, guys. If you want to come and trade on Weeks, make sure to sign up with the link down below, because you do have a 50% fee reduction. You got the biggest bonus, which is a $20,000 deposit bonus. Okay, the more you trade, more volume you move, more airdrops you're going to get. Check it out, guys. You have the link down below for Weeks. Okay, Bybit for me has been always #1, but I know some people have some issues, and you know, they want to trade on a platform where you just need an email and a password. Check out Weeks, guys. Just with an email and a password, you're signing up, and it has to be one of the most legit platforms out there. Okay, been trading there for a few weeks, and it's very, very nice. So just getting squeezed here with the anchored VWAPs, as we can see. Getting squeezed. Getting a little bit squeezed here with the anchored VWAP from the lows, maintaining support, and this one holding as resistance. There is a bearish case here. There is a bearish case, and the bearish case scenario based on a WXY is forming a zigzag right there. So there is a possibility for the bears, I have to say, but you want to be very selective with your shorts. If the price right now, not the best long for me here, just because we formed a very one wavy, but this was a basic resistance support flip. I'm not too convinced of this long, but it's just a resistance from today flipping into support, getting a little bounce at the moment. So if the price were to come up here, you know, the most bullish case scenario is a 112, and then you rip in a third wave. But there's also the scenario informing either a ABCDE, well, actually a WXYXZ. It is possible, or an expanding move. But the best level of resistance, if you were to attempt a breakout, is $106,000, as explained, which is the golden pocket from the movement down of all-time high, right, to the lows, and the 1.618 extension. But right now it doesn't look too great, but it's still possible. You got the 1.618 extension here from the lows of early this morning to the top of this wave to the low of this wave. 1.618 extension is with the golden pocket, which looks very interesting if we were to get a shoot up here, right? Or a three waver and then move up. It is still pretty good resistance. But if you in that short, this is the kind of short that you want to maintain some open, whether that is 20-30%. Because the fact that we moved in a zigzag wave here and we already hitting this high does not make this too impulsive, not really too convincing, right? So it gives the bears a chance to actually break down. Just local scenarios, guys, regardless if this does not happen, right? The shorting level was here, right? There's no quick longs for me in this area, unless we form a zigzag move here. And then you got bullish CVDs, and the bullish case scenario would be a 112. But we need a zigzag. I need a three-wave structure here to even start thinking about a possible long position from the golden pocket of the low to the high, right? Just to follow the, you know, just get supported here. No long positions at the moment. Let's go. Bears fighting hard. Yes, they are. Look at that anchored VWAP. Right. And, you know, you could arguably discuss the point of control of the range here of the last few days. Just big resistance. Very choppy price action. We were forming bullish CVD divergence here locally. This is why we were creating bang, bang, bang. You know, that choppiness. Not easy. But you can manage risk very, very, very good. And this short. And, you know, could break down to the lows. Skip BTC today. BTC dominance will drop now. Let's go. We are going to take a look. Tommy dumping, too bad. Maybe not part of the alt season. Tommy, I have no idea what that crypto is. Is 𝗕𝗏 a good buy at current price? 𝗕𝗏 still holding a moon bag on 𝗕𝗏 network, guys. 𝗕𝗏 network, absolutely awesome project, but it got a big pullback. It got a big pullback. Not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. Oh, we got that wedgie breakout. Bit of a fake out. We did get a wedgie breakout coming back down to the lows. Is 𝗕𝗏 a good buy? Well, we've been screaming about 𝗕𝗏 network for many months here. And my average entry on 𝗕𝗏 network is about 10, 11 cents. Would I buy this pullback? I mean, you could DCA in, right? You could DCA in. This is still pretty aggressive. You got this fake out right there coming back down to the lows. It is a good project regardless. But yeah, I mean, you want to really buy at really low levels, just like we were doing back in, September, October, right? We talked about 𝗕𝗏 network in this range, saying buy here or do not buy. The thing about these pullbacks, guys, it's really, altcoins are really tricky because this could really just go down lower. It's still pretty aggressively forming lower lows. Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. You could DCA, right? DCA the pullback. It's much better buying 𝗕𝗏 network now on the pullback, regardless of how low it goes, than actually buying here, DCAing on the pump, right? That's obviously not a strategy that we would want to use ever, right? Buy only on Bitcoin, right? If you're going to look at multi-years. But yeah, preferably you DCA on the way down. Then on the way up, right, for the altcoins. Because yeah, so overall I still think 𝗕𝗏 will do very well. Just got a big volatile move, doing a 6x in a matter of a few days. So I did sell 50% of my 𝗕𝗏 bag once we crossed the highs of March. I was clear with the strategy. What I'm buying here, I am getting out with 50% here and holding a moon bag, right? So I think it will do very well. It's it's a very good project. It's in Oracle, Layer 2, AI agents. It covers all sorts, and it's a very solid project. So yeah, it's just getting a big pullback after the pump. I think DCAing is not a bad idea, regardless if it goes to 20 cents or 15 cents. I think DCAing is not a bad idea. It's a good project. BTC pumping. Yeah, BTC got a little bounce. BTC got a little bounce. Yeah, this is very one wavy, okay? It's very straight one wavy. So V-shaped recoveries are rare. They are rare to happen. So most commonly you would see a kind of a zigzag possibility, or maybe even a flat. This is very one wavy, okay? So the highest probability scenario is that you do take out those lows at some point. A V-shape would be rare right now to get a V-shape and claim the highs again, okay? But it's possible, I have to say. It is possible, but this is very one wavy. So I would expect kind of a dead cat bounce and maybe a rollover to claim the lows again, and maybe this could be a 3-waver and then we're getting back up. But V-shapes are rare. V-shapes are very rare. Let's go through the comment section. Let's see how many likes we do have, guys. Let's see how many likes we do have. Make sure to destroy the like button. I'm going to confirm. Thoughts on 𝗖𝗎 meme talking lows. Thoughts on 𝗖𝗎 meme talking lows. Yeah, 𝗖𝗎 on 𝗖𝗎. This is the 𝗖𝗎, the dog, right? Where is it? Oh, if you put 𝗖𝗎 here, it's not going to pop out. Show more. There it is. The dog named. Wow, this one's down 27%. Yeah, this is just really climbing down to the lows of the launch right now. I mean, this is the dog named by the 𝗖𝗍 co-founder. 𝗖𝗍 ecosystem, we're speculating it's going to be very big in the next coming months. This is the meme coin, right? The dog meme coin from the 𝗖𝗍 ecosystem, named after the co-founder, right, of 𝗖𝗍. This is just a highly speculative meme, right? That will it do well or not? This is just highly speculative, guys. I mean, I do have a little bit of 𝗖𝗍, I have to say, and I mean, I'm in a slight loss, but I haven't put much. You know, these are like to put really play money in there and just hope for the best. This is what you get with meme coins, guys. You know, as a trader and a technical analyst, this is a bit of a gamble. So if it's a gamble, I just put a bit of play money and I don't care if it goes to zero. So, you know, it happened to me with 𝗕𝗶𝗴. I put $1,000 in 𝗕𝗶𝗴 and I did over a 20x. I bought 𝗕𝗶𝗴 back in April of 2023, right? Which was, it played very well. Very well. I did over a 20x on 𝗕𝗶𝗴. And if I would have held more, I would have done over a 60x. But I put play money into these kind of cryptos, so it is really a gamble. What can I say? Let's see how many likes we do have, and I'll go through the comment section, and then we'll take a look. Okay, make sure to destroy the like button. People are getting bored here with these meme coins. We're gonna take a look at some other cryptos that are having good attention, and we're going to do some proper analysis. We can't do analysis on a 2 million market cap coin, guys, especially a meme coin. Is altcoin season still on? You're damn right it is still on, guys. Let's get to 500 likes and we'll go through what I believe is coming in the coming months, guys. Okay, let me just be clear. Bitcoin could get a bit more of a pullback. It's possible. Altcoins will go down. Let's smash the like button to 500 likes. We are lagging with the like button, legends. And then we'll go through the possibility of the altcoin season, trying to make you understand. This was mentioned also on yesterday's live stream. There are good projects that I do see an insane recovery. ICP is one of them. I mean, this is only looking at a 2-3x potential, but hey, 2-3x for me is good. I've got over $50,000 on this coin, and I'm just looking to make a $50,000 profit. As soon as we cross the highs here, I'm going to be out with most of those the bags. This is in my average entry price, right, which was from this consolidation. It's only a 2x, but it's a high probability 2x, right? So I'm in quite heavy with this one, just for a quick flip. So just to pay rent for the year, right? So this one I do see doing very well. And there's two scenarios. There is the most bearish one, which is an ABC, or there is the most bullish one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to rip. But regardless, it is looking to claim the highs here. Right now, I have a little bit of a situation looking at this price action because it can be a very bumpy ride. But I can tell you that these highs on ICP will be claimed this year. Right? I'm not going to be too confident to say it's going to happen in 2 weeks. This year, ICP will claim this high. However, there is the most bearish case scenario, which is claiming the lows from July at $6. Now, that would be a massive accumulation zone. The main reason why I am confident that ICP will take out $20 and even go to $25, maybe $30, right, easily, is because of this movement to the downside that gives you high probability that this is a corrective zone. It's a corrective movement. And whatever happens in this area is still corrective, and highs will likely come at some point in the coming months. This is why I have gone heavy on this one. And I don't mind holding the volatility. Matter of fact, if we do get to $6, which would be devastating, right? That's pretty sharp correction. That we will be forming a very complex corrective move, which would be a zigzag right there. This is not there's no 5 wave here to be counted, right? So it's very 3 wavy, and you got a 3 wave move here. You got the high, the lows, and the highs. So the most bullish case scenario is actually a double 1-2. You don't want to take out this low. Anything here can happen, but you don't want to take out this low. The moment you take out this low, the double 1-2 is invalidated, which you need to go with the next trading plan, which would be, okay, either a double zigzag, which would not be looking too great. You got a zigzag here, you got a zigzag here, and then you get in a zigzag right over here in a WXY. And it would be a beautiful swing failure pattern zone to absolutely accumulate the crap out of this coin at $6. I'm not sure if we'll get that, but if we do, I'm happy to buy up, and I'll be in a loss of 30-40%, right? So, but it's just understanding that I can afford to hold that loss, those unrealized losses, and I'll just be happy to accumulate a little bit more and get the heck out once we hit this high. So the strategy for me is simple, and I'm ready to hold on to those waves. But anyway, that's my thing here, right? Manage your risk accordingly, guys, because some people get in with too much funds, right? And they just really panic. What the heck's going on with the dumps, guys? This is a walk on the park, guys. Well, we go down, then we go down. Bitcoin taking the crap. Right now, testing the lows again. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be quite interesting. The bullish CVD divergence are still on the formation. So what we need to see here for Bitcoin is this movement down not being too aggressive. This is going to tell us a lot of information. I will be confident in a long position if this third wave, if it's not a third wave, and we start creating a bit of choppy, and we claim those highs. I mean, this could already be a zigzag. It could be a flat. It's not going to be very easy here. Not going to be easy at all. I want to see a bit more of a breakdown. Consider this as a zigzag. And if you do get the price reclaiming these highs, that will be a bullish sign. And I will be very much interested in the pullback, because this will no longer look impulsive. So I wouldn't be too aggressive on a long if we do hit this high, because it could be a flat. I wouldn't be too bullish. I mean, it could be the end of a zigzag, but if we do claim this high, I wouldn't be interested in a long. This could be still a flat where you formed an A, B, C, and then break down. This could be the end of the correction. I would want to see a little bit more of the movement down and a big recovery here. That will be very, very bullish, and I would be looking for the highs to be claimed if we got this move. Claiming the highs here. So for the moment, we're moving down, guys. There's just no long here to be taken, as mentioned, based on that, big movement down. Okay, there's no longs here to be taken. Sui is fundamentally bullish. I mean, let's get to 500 likes, guys, and then we'll talk about some cryptos and doing analysis. GRT, for example, let's smash up the like button to over 500 likes, and we're going to take a look at some altcoins, and I'm going to give you my perspective based on the analysis here of the total crypto market cap on what is very likely to come in the next coming months. Okay, guys? Let's go. 500 likes and we're back. Yes! Come on, you lazy buggers. Let's get that like button absolutely exploding. My goodness. If you are lazy to scroll down the video and smash up the like button, my goodness, are you going to be able to get into some trades or buy or sell some crypto if you can't even click on the like? There we go. Like the stream, you lazy bugger, says Dark Flame. Let's go right away. Is BTC taking the lows? I have a full analysis on some different scenarios that could happen on Bitcoin being the best long position if we were to break down here from these lows, around about $97,000 to $98,000. There's a really interesting zone, really interesting level. It's explained on the first 30-40 minutes of the stream. Okay, right now we have been getting a little bit of resistance, as we can see from the anchored VWAP. It was very much an acceptable short position to be taken, guys. This is looking very zigzaggy, very three-wavy. Anchored VWAP, 50% Fibonacci, the golden pocket, the point of control from this range, right? There's just a lot of resistance going on here, legends, and we moved in a very three-wave move. So, hey, I'm not surprised. You know, the pullback was very much a possibility. Matter of fact, there is a possibility in sweeping up the lows from today. It's possible, yes. But this would be bullish for me. I would be looking for a chance to long here. And the levels have been explained at the beginning of the stream, okay? So let's go and take a look at some cryptos. Not much here to say on Bitcoin. There's no quick long positions to be taken in this area, guys. This does not look too impulsive. And it's kind of dangerous, right? You could long here. I'm not saying you can't. We might bounce from this zone right now as we speak. We might bounce. The problem here is the stop loss. Where do I put my stop loss? If I don't know where I'm putting a stop loss, I am not entering the trade. Let's go and take a look at YFI. Yearn Finance. Yes, sir. This is an OG crypto. Yearn Finance. Let's go right away. YFI. Yearn Finance. Shall we take a look at some altcoins? Big. Wow. I mean, look at this. Look at this. It's just a big fat range from the last 2 years. Claim the lows, claim the highs. This is the game right now. Till we break out at some stage. When we get the altcoin season. Will that happen or not? Very pump and dumpy, guys. You know, there's just no big major analysis. I can tell you that this zone is a great buying zone, right? That is pretty much clear. But these pullbacks can be very tricky. You know, you get the big, I mean, these altcoins, guys, it's just a pure speculation. I don't have any proper analysis to be taken here. You could get the break up and then back down, just like what happened here. You know, it's just, let's go to the 4-hourly time frame. I can tell you what would be a good speculative long position is sweeping up the lows, right? And this is just purely based on history, right? We just speculate. Technical analysis based on history, price action. Sweep up the lows. You got a long attempt here. Be defensive. It broke back down. Sweep up the lows. From the range, have another attempt. Manage risk. Sweep up the lows of this wedgie structure. Long in area, stop loss. Same scenario here, long stop loss. You're getting choppy, or be defensive. If you do not start moving up here, you need to be defensive. So based on this analysis, it's just common sense really, is saying, hey, if we sweep up these local lows and, you know, we get back up, it's a possible long attempt back up to the top of the wedge and speculate on a breakout. If you don't break out, you need to be defensive. with your stop loss, you could break down again, and then you might break out. So like I said, catch the double bottoms, the double, triple bottoms. We love bottoms, guys. I love multiple bottom fest, right? That's where I love trading. More bottoms we have, the better, guys. So Doge breakout and is retesting the breakout. Let's take a look at Doge right away for my man here, Werner, who is a member in the Legends trading community, very active. Werner, shout out to you. Shout out to you. We got also Dylan, another coach providing setups and scenarios, was talking about Dogecoin today. He was talking about Dogecoin breakout, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, he's providing so many different setups and scenarios throughout the last few days. But there should be a breakout, guys. Anybody that is interested in getting into the Legends trading community for setups and the modules, okay, make sure to join right away, because we do have analysis every single day from myself, from 𝗕𝗏𝗆, looking for different trading setups, educational videos, and what we're looking at next. The setups channel as well with the rest of the coaches. You got the modules, learning from A to Z, right? Basic analysis to advanced. There's nothing better to actually educate yourself, guys, okay? So you have the Legends trading community, which is the first link down below, okay? No, it's not. It's the third link, okay? Third link down below, which will take you to the page. Educate yourself, guys. Learn how to trade by yourself and not rely on somebody else, right? That's what you need to do, and that's where you're going to get the education. So let's take a look at Dogecoin here. When I was talking about Dogecoin, Dogecoin getting a nice breakout, and it's retesting, right, the breakout trend line. Does look pretty promising. You got some, you know, this volume is very likely with this movement is very likely with some pretty nice, interesting volume. Oh, kind of back testing. Got a rejection from a back test here. This green box that I had on the chart on this chart on Coinbase got a bit of a back test from that resistance, but it is testing the support breakout here. We got some nice volume on the movement. It does look promising for continuation. It does look quite promising for continuation to the upside. It has officially formed a higher high right there, so a higher low is on the cards. A higher low is on the cards here for Dogecoin. Looking at the basic analysis. Andy Mandy, JG, how are you doing? How is family? Let's take a look at Flux. Let's go. Elon said Doge will go to Mars. 100%. Of course it will. It will hit the dollar at some stage, guys. It did not manage to hit a dollar on the previous cycle, but will Doge go to Mars? I think so. It will go to the moon. Smash the like button, says Aditya. Absolutely. Let's take a look at Flux here for my man JG. I do have a bag of Flux, and Flux doesn't look good at all. It's like really in the, it is in the buying zone in my opinion. But it looks so steep right now. It's like holding. Doesn't look good at all. Eh? Doesn't look great, but this is the moment. Preferably, we do hold that low. We're just about to take that low. Just about to take the low here. I mean, already hitting the 0.88. Really struggling. Really struggling here. But yeah, the fact that we moved here in a very zigzaggy move right there, I'm still bullish on this one, Legends. Whatever happens here, it's just a complex correction, okay? Because you do have a zigzag here, which the bullish case is a 112, but you're about to take out that low. The moment you take out this low, then we are either speculating on a triangle, right? A double zigzag would be devastating. You can't really go much lower. You can't really go much lower because you're going to take out the lows here. But it's not a moment to be bearish, right? This Flux had a massive pump and a massive correction. This is a three-wave move. So it's highly likely that all of this is just part of the correction. So it's in accumulation zone, guys. Flux is an awesome project, and I do see it succeeding. It's just it's a bumpy ride. It is a bumpy ride. No one said it's going to be easy. It's at accumulation levels, guys. Cannot stress that enough. Say to $1.7. Say to $1.7. I would say at least to the highs here from March. Okay? From March of 2024. Same scenario. I got this pattern here, right, from Brett, which we are very much following. It's in the accumulation zone, guys. It is in the accumulation zone. Do not buy the pumps. Do not buy the hypes, because you will get dumped on. You want to buy these aggressive pullbacks where everything looks like it's over. No, it's not. No, it's not. You want to buy the pullbacks. If you buy the dip and it keeps dipping, happy birthday. You got another discount. Start thinking and getting out on the pumps. Now, high probability that we're going to hit $1.13 in the next coming months or weeks. Okay, the recoveries in crypto are fast. When we start moving up, we're going to move very fast, guys. So it's going to be, you know, look at 𝗓𝗄 Network, right? People were asking about 𝗓𝗄 Network as well throughout November, because we were talking about this one for many days, and we got the breakout. And, you know, you don't have time, because this happens in 1, 2, 3 days. You don't have time. When the market goes, it's going to go quick. So I just managed to get out on the breakout here with 50% of my, investment from this zone. We need to get out at these highs, because you don't know how the breakout is going to be, right? Now it's just rejecting down aggressively. So this is why you need to get out. You know, it's hard because you think it's going to absolutely moon and you're going to make a 50x. But this was a 4x. That was the plan. We leave a moon bag. We got great buying zones. Hold on. So the thing is about this, about 𝗖, right? The thing about 𝗖, somebody calling for $1.70. I think it's very possible, even though this is an ABC move. I mean, this is the launch of the token back in 2023. So you have to come to the conclusion that another wave is going to happen, right? But will it be a corrective wave, or will it be a big, strong, impulsive move up? So I am saying that this is the target zone. Whatever happens here, if we do go to higher levels, then take it as a present and DCA out on the pump. But I'm targeting the highs here on 𝗖. That's the first zone. RSR Andy says XRP RSR. Let's take a look at RSR right away. RSR. This one's an OG project as well from the previous cycle. Did very well, very, very well here. Claiming the March highs. Very, very strong pump. I think there was somebody important investing into this one throughout last year, which created this hype pump. I can't remember the news now, but I remember seeing it pop out. RSR, very, very difficult right now with RSR, but you are really trying to maintain this resistance, right, regarding Elliott wave theory. The fact that this one has already created this pump, I am slightly worried of this being a three-wave move, right? I'm worried about this being a three-wave move. It's holding here the resistance as support, but would I speculate on a 112 here and this is going to rip? I mean, we should be seeing an altcoin season, right? That is, everything points out that we should be seeing another rally. And I can explain that. I can explain that looking at the charts from the total crypto market cap and the Bitcoin market cap, okay? Because there will be an altcoin speculation throughout the next coming months. So it's just very likely going to happen. Now, RSR is just no big major analysis here. Very, I'm not going to do any micro counts and try and understand if we are in a, what is this? Just keeping it simple on altcoins. Yeah, not going to go too far. We're maintaining here after this pullback. But the main reason why we believe that an altcoin season will happen, one reason is the Bitcoin dominance. The Bitcoin dominance, according to the 4-year cycle, the most bullish year, right, after the 4 years, right, 2017, 2021, 2025 right now, we did not see the dominance drop aggressively since March, okay, till March, sorry. So this is what happened on the Bitcoin dominance. And this means one thing, right? This is the dominance of how much money, right, there is in Bitcoin in the crypto space. 58% of the money in crypto, 58% is in Bitcoin, right? Obviously, right? So 2 trillion plus 2 trillion market cap. So 58% is in Bitcoin. When this moves down, you have the money flowing into altcoins. This is why you get these epic altcoin seasons, right? In the case of 2021, it was in between March and April. It was 2 months. So we are still in January. February can be choppy. We might even hit the highs one more time. But overall, we are expecting that movement down before the summer, being March, April, right? Give or take. May is going to be a difficult month, right? You know what they say. Sell in May, run away. Before the summer holidays, right? People want to take profits before the summer. So, expecting that move before the summer, okay? It's just very likely to happen, bringing us that altcoin season. Based on the data, history does not need to repeat, but it's just, we will create that altcoin season. People will understand this and people will flow into altcoins. It's just, we're going to make it happen based on the data. So that's what we were expecting here on the Bitcoin dominance, bringing us that altcoin season. When we take a look at the total crypto market capitalization, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, we're at the highs. Back in February of 2021, we were also at the highs. January, February, 2025, 2021, we are where we need to be. Then obviously you get the breakout, between March and April. Massive altcoin season for several weeks. So we are where we need to be, guys. There's nothing different. So if you would have said to me, right, on the bear market, we're testing the highs, we're going to find support, we should be heading here to the highs in between, December or January of 2025. This is what happened here. Oh, history does not need a repeat. We're doing exactly the same thing, right? So we're kind of moving with the history price action. So what we're expecting here is a breakout, potentially in between February and April. So overall, it's just we are where we need to be. Some altcoins are doing better than others. And a fun fact is the highs that we created on the total crypto market cap back in January of 2018 peaked out at 350 billion. Bitcoin peaked out at 320 billion, 330, very similar. Altcoins peaked at the same market cap than Bitcoin. Okay? Few weeks after eventually, because altcoins lag behind. You need to see the Bitcoin dominance drop. Same happened here. 1.2, 1.3 trillion. That's where we peaked on the total crypto market cap on, the Bitcoin market cap, sorry. 1.2 trillion. Total 3, 1.1 trillion. Bitcoin right now is at $2 trillion. Altcoins are at 1 trillion. So you expect $1 trillion based on the same market capitalization peak on altcoins than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's right now at 2 trillion right there. So you would expect a possible leg up here based on the speculation based on the money flow, based on the Bitcoin dominance dropping and getting that breakout from the highs. Probabilities do say that that is likely to happen, guys. So hold on tight. These next coming weeks, they're going to be the last little shakeouts that we're going to have. Take them as opportunity. Legends, thank you very much for joining. Remember, if you are interested in trading, you do have the links down below to Bybit or to Weeks. Weeks for me is an absolute no-brainer. You just need an email and a password. You get the biggest bonus with my affiliate link, and not only the biggest bonus, you do get 50% fee reduction only with my link, guys. You just need an email and a password. Check out Weeks, guys. Come and trade with me here on Weeks, because I know most of you can trade there. Check it out, guys, if you cannot sign up to Bybit. Not much more has to be said. The analysis on Bitcoin is in the first 30 minutes of the stream. Thank you very much for joining, and I will see you guys tomorrow or in the Legends trading community.